And it's good to share some thoughts this evening. Uh, Today will be on a very quick, oh, very quick. Okay. Just on high level. Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Today we will talk about the not too much on the Supreme Court judgment on the, that happened yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Really, I don't even know why the governors they are attacking Tinubu. I don't know. I don't ask if they're attacking Tinubu. That means the executive have influence over the judiciary. That's just what they are trying to imply. It's supposed to be different bodies, judiciary, executive, and legislative are different. They're attacking him for not interfering. I don't know that about it. I never knew that Tinubu is also a judge. It we call judge or the chief justice of the federation. So it just shows that the system is really bad. Okay, the system is really bad. We should find a way out to make sure there will be no interference on let's assume the court there. There will be interference from the executives. They should not interfere. These are different bodies, different organs of government. So I just saw the videos attacking him, attack the president, attack the president. I was not wondering why are they attacking him? Why are they attacking him? For what? Because they said it not interfere. It means we Nigerians we need to grow up. Oh. That's what I would say because the executives around is supposed to be different from the judiciary. So I don't know why they're attacking him. Just imagine the Plateau State governor was so proud, so happy, thanking Mr. President for not interfering. Kano State too, the same thing. I think Kano State they never even try it. If they have tried it, there will be bloodshed in Kano State. They wouldn't have been able to try it, but if they have tried it, there will be bloodshed in Kano State because those people they are not like obedience that are quiet. Obedience they stood their mandates and they were still quiet. Kano State people, they are not like that. Oh. If you try them, they deal with you. Fire for fire. It's like that, fire for fire. These people, this is what they need. This is what they want, all these politicians. Fire for fire. They don't cool down. They don't need to, there's no smell. There's no smell. There's no smell. So they knew that if they had changed the outcome of the election in Kano State, I know Kano State would have been burning by now. Would have been burning by now. That was why they did not try it. So I don't know why the other governments are just tackling Tinubu for. It's not his precord, it's not a lawyer. It's not so because they know that definitely they always influence they've been influencing the outcome of the judiciary. So we should find a way out, man. And I dare to say, coming SR zone 2027, there will be elections, all those stuff. There's no need for people to contest to Labour Party. If with this what is happening with INEC there, all these people there is no need for you guys to go and contest for election. There is no need because it's still corrupt. It's the same people that are still there that are still there. So what makes you think that 2027 will be better when they openly stole the election from stole the people's mandate? I'm not talking about I'm not saying my own no, because is appealing is somehow is nonsense. See what is happening is actually nonsense. Is annoying. Okay, it's annoying. It's annoying. It's annoying, man. It's annoying. Okay, just imagine this guy. Imagine Imagine, okay, the governor of, let me start with the governor of Kano State. I know his part was peculiar, as per say, he knows that if they turn the election around, definitely his people will riot and then we don't share in that place, you know. And that one, we all know that they try it to happen. I don't wonder, even the governor of Plateau State, people, his town was burning, people are dying, we were raiding villages, communities. He didn't care. He went to Abuja to go and be meeting the governors and be bombarded for TINUBU. Maybe that was what he was doing it so that they will not interfere in his election, so that they will not take away his mandate, so that the Supreme Court will not rule against him. Maybe that was why all this why he was doing all this stuff. But it's damn too bad, okay? It's damn too bad. I mean, it's damn too bad. Anyway, let's okay. And,
Especially for the support
this
to our
Kano State governor,
administration.
okay? Thank you, Tunji-Ojo.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, let me specifically register my sincere appreciation and that of the good people of Kano State to His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Jagaban, and his Vice President, Alhaji Kashim Shettima, GCON, for their statesmanship, leadership, and their respect for democracy. Their refusal to interfere with the proceedings of the Supreme Court, in spite of the huge and persistent pressure from vested interests, is a testimony to their respect for the core principles of democracy and the rule of law in Nigeria, allowing the votes of the people to count and respecting the independence of the judiciary. It is therefore our fervent prayer that may Almighty Allah will continue to support our leaders wherever they are, to remain fair, just, and compassionate. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to guide them as they steer the leadership of our nation into peace, security, and prosperity. For us here in Kano, I want to assure them.
Well, that was the governor of Kano State. I mean, governor of Plateau State. All governors, they were all just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Why that? I don't know why they. I see no reason why we did that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's just no reason. Thank you, thank you. Anyway, I don't, I don't even know what to say for now. It's painful for. Let me say to the governor of listen to the governor of Plateau State.
Judiciary.
I don't know
Their
why they are talking.
lordships have demonstrated courage and they have raised the hope of the ordinary man in Nigeria that justice is still available in Nigeria. I want to thank Mr. President for showing himself a true Democrat and not allowing the space, the political space, to become intoxicated. He has also shown that he is also a beneficiary of the people's votes and that he will also always allow and support the judiciary to perform its role. I want to thank the people of Plateau State who have stood by me. I want to thank Nigerians who have stood by us. I want to thank the international community that have also insisted that the votes of the people must count in Nigerian democracy. I want to thank all of you, and I say God bless.
Yeah, that was Governor TINUBU. Taking for not vote, I don't know. Because the Supreme Court did not rule against them. But Tinubu did not interfere. This is what I have been saying. This interference of the executives on judiciary is not the right thing. We know they'll be doing it. We know they'll be doing it. It's time for us to talk. You know, you have to talk. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And you guys think that in 2027 there will be elections and you can come up to win like that, just like that, being obedient or not be not fair for fire. You are joking because as it is, you are just joking. Seriously, as it is, you are joking because you can see what is happening, man. You can see what is happening. They did for Kano State. They did not. They cannot try it. Had they been they turn it, that place will be burning. I will repeat it again. That will be burning. So they just go, oh, please, so let's maintain because the pressure was much. The former dollar man there wanted to turn to APC. But the people of Kano State, they will not agree. Nigeria had elections and it was turned around. It was turned around and the obedience were quiet. The people were quiet. We went out to vote, they took your vote, you were quiet. The pity. It had been is the kind of people that are in Nigeria, this as it was spread in Nigeria. Do you think that will happen? It will not happen. It will not happen. I respect people of Kano State, man. I respect you guys. I respect you guys. You guys are strong. Okay, just okay. Let me look. Let's call a spade a spade. It was the same. Don't think you can just be like that and win the election, no. Because as it is, the INEC people are still there. There are these people that are still there. The same INEC that stood that did nonsense, that are still there. Nobody is talking. What do you expect to? What do you think will happen in the next election? What do you think will happen? You guys won't be joking, man. You guys won't be joking. You guys won't be joking. You guys won't be joking. You must be joking, man.
Were all
You guys
returned.
must be
Kano
joking.
State, people of Kano State came out en masse. I just saw a video of many people wearing their red scarf and
Yeah,
red caps and walking on the street, so massive. And someone had written and said, imagine if the Supreme Court had not affirmed the election of their governor, what is it that could have happened? It's
yeah.
so many people, just being there, coming out and supporting. Hopefully the governor does the right thing by his people, give them good governance, accountability and transparency, and put the people first, and really carry them be above and beyond everybody's expectation, and don't just stay at the level of mediocrity and just do little things and think, oh, you're working. I really do hope that's what happens. Kind of people have been on this for a very long time. Like I'm always say, and I say it without mincing any words, they won. This particular governor won the 2019 election. It was in Ganduje, it was in APC, but the people of Kano were denied that election, and it's a really good thing to see now that the people of Kano indeed have gotten their election back. Their mandate has been allowed to stand. That's the way it should be. Election democracy where people's mandates do not stand is worse than a coup. I always say it. It is a coup in itself when people. It's worse than a military coup. Civilian coup is actually worse, where
Yeah.
people have put
Let
their
me
mandate
reason
and then
out
you subvert
just
the will of the people. You subvert the mandate of the people. You take away their
just to
choices. That's really heinous. No matter what it is, people must be allowed.
yeah, yeah. That was just part of um anyway, guys. It's just for us to let you guys know, man, that we all need to stand up for our rights, okay? for our rights. Seriously, don't wait to them. The voice of the people has the say. We have the say. People have the say. It's not INEC. If the people vote and their vote is not counted, you can imagine in Kano State what look, those guys were ready. They were ready. They were ready because they voted. They were ready to come up and fight for their rights. And fight for their rights and take it back. They were ready. Anyway, today I have to go and watch. Let me just do this one. Because today now the better educate. As I said before, for personally, we should look critically and know what really happened. She may not be correct, okay, but let's look at it critically. As I said before, the Harriman that took 44 billion naira under 5 days to help personal account and account of family, her case is even down. Her case is not even up. But the person that paid 440 million naira to somebody's to one of the person's accounts, that is what is going on. So let's be smart, Nigerians. Let's be smart. And that one, and they said it has brought some money. I mean, about 33 billion naira back. But let's be smart. 44 billion naira and 450 million naira. That is, it's over 100. It's over 100 times bigger than the one of the better edu. But now, all the newspaper, everybody, they have to have a better edu, better edu, better edu. Let's be smart, guys. Let's maybe to this. I would say it's a setup. Maybe she made a mistake. I don't know. Maybe I think it can happen, but let's be smart. Okay. Maybe people are fighting her back. Who knows? Commissioner fighting back. Well, interior minister, is he was involved. What is happening? Total investigation. FCC should invite that interior minister, not him go and meet the president. The president is not the police, and yes, he's the commander in chief, but EFCC should invite the interior minister. They should invite him for questioning. Because these people don't trust him. He was one that said, hey, off the mic, off the mic, off the mic. He was the one. So you can see same people move up and down. They are rotating them. They move them from here, put them out of National Assembly, from there to camp commissioner, from there to governor, from there to chief of staff, from there to same people. And Nigerians are just there, quiet and looking. Anyway, let's better the case. Let's go there. Let's just a few analysis, and then let's just listen to the better case. Let's know what is happening. What is the cause? What is? Let's just analyze a few things about that one. Then I think we're gonna call it a day. All right. Just let's watch. Let's write down that one. Um, so I thought this we'll call it a day. Okay. No, not just this one. Okay. Let's let's listen to this.
And poverty alleviation. The dust is yet to settle in that ministry as the AFCC continues investigation into the alleged approval of 585 million naira by the suspended minister, Betta Edu. The commission is also looking into her predecessor, into activities of her predecessor. Both women's passports have now been seized, although the ministry's permanent secretary, Abel Olumuyiwa has assumed responsibility for the ministry. There is the question of whether the ministry should be scrapped. And only recently, on Friday, mid-Friday afternoon, that is, President Bola TINUBU suspended all administered programs by the National Social Investment Program Agency, which is one of the agencies under the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, and this follows the ongoing investigation of alleged fraud in the management of the agency and its programs. And so all 4 programs administered by NCPA, these are Empower Program, Conditional Cash Transfer Program, Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, as well as the Homegrown School Feeding Program, have all been suspended for a period of 6 weeks. In the first instance, the President raising significant concerns regarding operational lapses and improprieties surrounding payments to the program's beneficiaries, Emmanuel. And this is such an unfortunate situation when you look at the theme, the idea behind programs like this, the idea behind the creation of this ministry. It's a young ministry when you compare it to others that have been on ground for so long, but it came on board under the Buhari administration about 8 years ago, and then the TINUBU government also took it upon itself to inherit that ministry, gave it a kind of a new name, poverty alleviation, top on the government's minds, of course, and the issue of humanitarian affairs. There are so many issues, pertaining to humanitarian crisis. Many people, millions, hundreds of millions of Nigerians are in dire need of aid, food and the likes. And just when you think that, this chunk of money, this sizable amount of money has been earmarked to the ministry, we're hearing this rather unpalatable news of, monies meant for vulnerable people in the country found in the wrong hands. And, investigations are still underway, and we hope that this will be an eye-opener for everyone, indeed all the other ministers in the cabinet of the president. And we want to get to the bottom of this, because there are so many questions yet unanswered.
A lot of questions to be answered at this time. This particular ministry was created in 2019 by the then President Muhammadu Buhari, just to cushion the plight of Nigerians concerning attending to their humanitarian affairs. But with this development, the current president at the moment, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, came up with a mantra to add poverty alleviation to this particular ministry to ensure that more Nigerians get conditional cash transfer. But at the moment, what we're saying is about some misappropriation of funds in this particular ministry. But the EFCC, it's on ground at the moment, investigating those who are concerned at the moment. Just yesterday, we saw that the EFCC invited over 20 directors to answer questions concerning what transpired behind all these monies that we're hearing flying around. But what we are waiting for at the moment, but you recall that the suspended minister was on this particular program. It was on this particular program that she suspended the Empower program based on some misappropriations, irregularities in that particular ministry, if you recall, Kemi. But it's a case whereby the minister also blew the whistle, and she's also been
now in the eye of the storm
at the moment. But what Nigerians are waiting to see is the outcome of the EFCC investigation. Right. So all hands are crossed.
If this net needs to be expanded, as you have just explained, by all means, it should, because there is the issue of credibility, there is the issue of trust. Deficit. Which
and you recall that about 3 CEOs were also invited for questioning.
Of banks, even though there was some back and forth, there was some form of denials that they weren't. One of them wasn't exactly, indicted or invited for explanations into this. Controversies, but as we have said, investigations are ongoing, as you must also have been following, and we know that many Nigerians will definitely be interested to know how it all pans out in the end. But there you have it. That's what we know for now, and all hands expectedly should be on deck to get to the bottom of this scandal. Quickly now, let's.
Well, still on Betarido, let's continue to still on Betarido, okay? It's painful, but that's how it is, all right? It's painful, but that's how it is. You know, it was a young, promising youth. Maybe Professor Tim. Yeah. Who knows? Let's listen to
Minister, the Minister of Interior, has said that a company where is a shareholder, even though he has resigned as a director and founder, is benefiting from contract awards from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. And people are saying that this is not just a legal issue, it's also a moral issue. We know that the president has invited that gentleman, and all we have heard so far is that all is good. It's all good. That's what we have heard from him. Conflict of interest. By your reading of what is going on, as the Minister of Interior erred in any way?
Again, thank you for having me. It is not a very simplistic matter. It is not one for which a simple yes or no can explain. One would have to examine it in great detail. One will have to look at it from different spectrum. The starting point for me is to say that if you look at paragraph 1 of the 5th schedule to the 1999 Constitution, it states that a public officer shall not put himself in a position where his personal interest conflicts with his duties and responsibilities. That is the constitutional foundation for the principle of conflict of interest in our country. Now, you have a situation where the Minister of Interior is said to have a company that he has interest, significant interest, right? Is a beneficiary of contract award by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. So the question you would want to ask is, was this contract advertised? Did it go through the procurement process? Was it in compliance with the Procurement Act? How did this come about? What were the requirements for the award of this contract? If you have a contract that is close to almost $500 million, that's not a joke. And the company in question is not a public company. It's not listed. It's not a public. It's not a trade. It's not a company that is on that you can just go and buy shares from. It is a private company limited by shares. So again, that is why I said these issues have to be examined carefully. Because if it is a private company limited by shares, it is Corporate Law 101. It simply tells you that the controlling minds of the company, the owners of the company, is quite limited. You could have, in fact, under the current law, you can even have one person, right, as the director of a company. So if you look at the ownership of this company, you would want to ask yourself genuinely, can anybody convince me today that this company has not enjoyed the patronage of the government on account of the influence, on account of the position and status of the minister who is the owner of the company? Because if you say the advisor and the director, right, it is the shareholders that own a company.
Correct.
That point should be stated clearly. The company belongs to the shareholders, right? They are the ones who own the company. Directors are people who basically run the company, but in terms of ownership, right? Because if at the end of the day, dividends, it goes to the shareholders. It's the shareholders who merit or earn dividends of a company. So I find his explanation unsatisfactory. And I think that at the heart of this is even the question of this so-called social investment program or whatever that, name the government has given to it. They claim that, the government says, we have a school feeding program, which is Empower. These projects or social intervention programs have been plagued by grave allegations of corruption over the years from the Buhari dispensation that have the government has never made an attempt to properly investigate it, because except you look at the root of it, you will not know why we get to where we are currently. Now, when the minister says that he had divested himself from the company, that he had resigned as a director, of course you cannot be a director while still serving as a minister. That would itself be a direct contravention of the Code of Conduct, Bureau and Tribunals Act, of the provisions of, the fifth schedule to the Constitution. So you cannot be earning double emoluments. That is why you had to resign. But that doesn't mean that you don't have an interest in the company. And let us not kid ourselves. We know how these things happen in real life, right? Even public officers who engage in money laundering, and I'm speaking generally, politicians and public officers who indulge in money laundering and corruption, they don't simply go to the vaults, right? Or to the treasury and take the money out. They do it through proxies. Yeah. They do it through, pseudo entities. Yeah. They use companies that they have interest or that their proxies are controlling. And we know that the real awards of contracts is not in in fact, even when they advertise, the real decision to award a contract, sometimes those conversations take place behind the scene. So I, as a Nigerian, cannot sit here and say that this company earned this contract solely on its own accord, without the possible influence and reference to the minister who has interest in it. But let us go beyond that. We have a situation where and really, I don't understand why they said the president has invited him. Was it for a coffee break? Was it for a tea? What did the president invite him for? Why was it not the EFCC that invited him? Right? I commend the Minister of Interior, for the reforms he has tried to introduce in his ministry. Yeah. In terms of the ability of Nigerians to get passports, he has really done. I mean, one can concede to him. He has done well. He has done well. To
be the shining star of the cabinet.
Which is why this is worrisome. So if he, with the track record he has tried, with the direction he has tried to take in his ministry, if they mention this scandal, how about the ones we've not heard of? So I want the president to go beyond this window dressing. Let us have an audit. If the president is serious about investigating this conflict of interest or investigating the corruption allegation that has trailed the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, I'm challenging the president today to not just say EFCC should investigate the specifics, allegations that are made against Betta Edu, right? The suspended minister. Let us have a review of the entire national social investment projects. Let us begin to ask the question, who are the beneficiaries of the Empower? How come that as a country in 2024, I cannot go on the internet with all the money? Look at, they claim they spent almost $500 billion for consultancy. What was they consulting for? What is the services that was rendered that you spend that amount of money? How come that as a country in the 21st century, I cannot simply stay in the comfort of my home and Google and go on the internet to see who the beneficiaries of the Empower are, to see who the beneficiaries of the conditional cash transfer are? The information is not there.
Vulnerables, and many of them do
not
have bank accounts.
Who are there?
But who are they?
Who are there? So this so-called social investment, and I don't like the idea of saying it has been suspended for 6 weeks. The entire program should be scrapped before we can even reconsider whether it should be sustained or not. Let it be scrapped in the interim until the president of Nigeria today, TINUBU, is able to tell Nigerians that these are the beneficiaries of these social investment interventions over the years, and it shouldn't be limited to his government from the Buhari dispensation. Yeah. But you see, let us be honest. TINUBU did not campaign on fighting corruption was not at the forefront of his campaign. But it is good that at least we have seen some element of what I would call presidential presence, which under Buhari, who was said to be an anti-corruption person, we did not see. But let us go beyond the window dressing. There are fundamental issues. How come that public funds in billions were transferred to private accounts? Who are the owners of those accounts? Why was that decision taken? Is that not in contravention of the public rules, the Code of Conduct for Public Officers? How come that these things will happen? So we cannot allow this kind of infractions to happen, and at the end of the day, it becomes a partisan conversation. Oh, that EFCC have invited. We want to see people go to court. We want to see people arraigned. We want to see people detained.
Okay. So, Mr. Efe, let me come in here. When we look at the minister's explanation that he resigned as a director, but of course, still remained a shareholder in the New Planet Project company, I believe. If we look at the federal government's financial regulation, section 713, that clearly cites that there's a clear warning against the mingling of personal and public monies. Given his position and experience, and I'm even going to make a reference to even Betta Edu, who has now been suspended, overlooking such a fundamental regulation, should that in itself be reason for suspension? Because, like you said, why is he still being invited over to the president's office? This is clearly a breach in financial regulations, in mingling of those monies. So should that be suspension first be something that you would I say spark confidence in Nigerians while the investigation is going on?
Look, it is not a difficult thing to ascertain, right? You've asked a very sensitive question. It is not a difficult thing. The question is there a political will to really fight corruption? Because if the political will is there, what does it take? Simply call for the account statement of the company. Demand for the account statement, where this close to $500 million was transferred to. Let us see it. When that money got into that account, was it moved to other accounts? Right? We call it trailing the funds. Follow the money. When this money was paid to this company, this New Planet Limited, was it moved to other accounts? That is the question that the EFCC should be able to answer in 24 hours. Because it's not enough for the minister to say, oh, I had resigned as the director. When this money moved to the account, who were the final beneficiary? Which other accounts did it move to? Have it been withdrawn since then?
But the money was used, according to them, in 1 month to enumerate, part of the 11 million households that are said to be vulnerable.
Which households? I think they are just taking us for granted. I have not seen any benefit. I don't know any household that has benefited from. I don't know if anyone here has known any household. I don't know one household in my village, in my local government or state, that has benefited from this. I am aware that look, let's not kid ourselves. This so-called social intervention has basically become a tool for political compensation, right? Because when you have people appointed into political positions based on patronage as a way of compensating them for the role they have played in your emergence, they see that, look, it is my right to take public funds. That's the way they see it. Why will you have public funds being transferred in billions at a time that inflation is killing the country, at a time that the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu has said that the country is bankrupt, at a time that our debt servicing is nothing to write home about, at a time that we are borrowing to service debt? We borrow to repair what we borrowed earlier. We are still hearing billions, hundreds of millions. These things can look like a joke, but it's not a joke. So let the president of the country come out today and say, yes, I am honest about this investigation. I am giving the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs 2 weeks to publish on a public platform, publicly accessible platform, all the beneficiaries of this social intervention since they were initiated under the Buhari administration. Because they are public funds. If you don't do that, then you are wasting our time. You're wasting our time. So this explanation by Betta Edu, by the Minister of Interior, they are not satisfactory. Nigerians are not satisfied with it. And the other aspect is even the amount. Inflation of contract. What sort of consultancy did this company offer for close to $500 million? What were they doing? Because if you say consultancy, I can sit here and give advice and just talk. That is consultancy services. Most times it is intangible. Consultancy most times is not something that you can lay your hands on. So what exactly were the services that were rendered for the amount? And who set this amount? Did it go through the board? Right? Who determined the amounts that were paid by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs? What was the position of the Accountant General of the Federation? What was the position of the Ministry of Finance? These are the questions that Nigerians must be told. But guess what? I have a feeling that if this investigation is thorough, Nigerians will soon realize that these two individuals, they are just the spotlight of the scandal, that a lot of people will be involved.
You believe that's just the tip of the iceberg?
Oh, yes! That is what it is!
There are at least 2 companies listed there which got money like the New Planet project, but they're practically untraceable.
Yes.
Not just untraceable. Not just untraceable. Some of them don't even have an identity, right? Some of them, when you take what we call what we call the object clause. When a company is incorporated, you have the memorandum and the articles of association.
Yes.
When you look at those documents, you are supposed to see the object clause. What was the company incorporated for? When you look at the purpose for which these companies were incorporated, they even have nothing to do with the contracts awarded to them. So this is a country that has made corruption a national culture. And I'm saying that that has to change. That has to change. And let us stop the dramatization. Let us stop the dramatization. Now it has been proven, it has been admitted that funds were paid to private accounts in violation of the financial regulations of the federal government. Therefore, I think that is enough for us to begin to see serious action in terms of prosecution. Because if at the end of the day, President TINUBU comes back to tell us, oh, we have investigated, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, even though she might have acted unethically, blah, 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 she's therefore reinstated. So what was the whole point? I personally don't think she's going to be recalled anyway. I don't think she's going to be recalled. But what I'm saying is that, is the Minister of Interior, is it the only person that has interest in a company that benefited from the largesse, from the humanitarian affairs? I think Nigerians and the media should help us look into that. Yes. So that we don't go back and say, oh, one minister that has interest in a company and that company got, which other minister? As a country, we don't have a ministerial code of ethics. You're aware of that? We don't. We don't have a ministerial code of ethics. In some countries, for example, in the US, the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson was removed for violating, ministerial code of ethics. Matters that you can't even be prosecuted for, merely ethical questions, moral requirements that you are supposed to comply with when you hold the office of a minister. Because ministerial positions are basically the machinery through which the president executes his policies, implements his programs. So when you have ministers involved in corruption, the allegations of corruption, again, you begin to ask, is the president really interested in developing the country? So let the president now have or constitute some technical people to draft a ministerial code of ethics. The other recommendation I want to reemphasize is that let us begin to digitalize how we do things as a country. If we have technology, if we deploy technology, we will not even be having this conversation. Because as the contract is being awarded, it ought to be uploaded on.
But that was precisely what Beta Edu promised.
It ought to be uploaded.
When she was, that we would do this, we would do how to enumerate. Exactly.
The only reason why this has become a scandal, that the media is aware and Nigerians are aware, is because some people in the civil service may have leaked those documents.
Correct.
Yes.
And it might be a case of, you chop, give me, make I chop. So I'm going to expose you. Yeah. It looks like that is what this was about. And nobody can tell me that this is the only ministry that if investigation is done, this kind of things will be uncovered. So how deep is this fraud? And this is happening few months after the government came in. Few months. What does that tell you about the body language? What does that tell you about the perception? Leave TINUBU aside. Let's even excuse him for a second. What does that tell you about the people he has appointed, their mindset, about why they are in that position? It tells you a lot that, look, our time has come. Let us eat the national cake. And I'm saying that the national cake has been depleted to a point where it has become suicidal for the entire country. So this culture that once you occupy public office, you have to buy the latest vehicles, you have to build houses all over the place, you have to send your kids to schools abroad, you have to acquire assets and properties you don't even need has to stop. Yeah. This is what this is about. $500 million can change the life of a lot of people. And we are hearing that some company was giving consultancy. For what?
I want to ask you questions like a lawyer asking another lawyer, just very short questions, because I want it to be clear for like the non-lawyers who are watching, right? You stated, because I want to reinstate some of the things you said. First of all, even though he's not a director, the owners of a company are the shareholders of the company, yes. And he is a shareholder of the company,
yes.
And his wife is the other shareholder of the company,
yes.
And his wife was listed as director of the company, which means he's a beneficial owner of the company, which means that whatever the company makes, the profit belongs to him as a shareholder.
You can't insulate. You want what God has put together. They say no man should better.
Okay, no. I want it to be clear because some people might not understand.
Let us be serious. This is a serious conversation.
Yes,
and you have asked a very serious question.
Yes.
Can you separate the husband from the wife? What is a company? What is a company? A company is a juristic person. Right? Yes, in law, we lawyers will argue that a company has a distinct entity, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
It's a corporate entity, corporate soul,
Yes.
blah, blah, blah. All those principles of law are not in doubt. But in the final analysis, there's a principle in corporate law called lifting the veil of incorporation. Lifting the veil of incorporation, which is when you put the name aside, you check behind. Who are the people behind this company? If your wife is a co-shareholder of a company, and you are a shareholder, and your wife is the director of a company, can you tell me that you don't have interest in the company? Or that what are they talking about? So in their bedroom, what do they discuss?
Are you saying
I'm saying they should stop
that
that
the minister probably was not aware?
It's not possible.
It's not?
It is impossible. If it's not, I don't want to go personal, but if you are a co-shareholder with your wife in a company that has received contract of close to $500 million and you are not aware, if you were my wife, I will file for divorce. What does that tell you? That we go on a company and that company received contract close to $500 million and I'm not aware, then our marriage foundation should be questioned. That is how serious this matter is. But I've told you that the owners of a company are the shareholders of the company. And this is a private company limited by shares. It is not a company that Iniberefio can go today and buy and become a shareholder. Right? It is a private company limited by shares. So you cannot just say, oh, I had resigned as the director. That is inexcusable. That is unacceptable. But I have asked the question, this contract, this consultancy contract, who set the amounts for it? Was it advertised? Did it go through the procurement process? What is special about this company that it had to benefit from that award, unlike the other companies that may have bidded? Yeah. Was there even a proper bidding? When was it done? These are the questions.
Absolutely.
I want to follow up because, we're talking about conflict of interest and we're talking about ministers. But ministers are not the only people who occupy these positions of power, right? And we have seen a lot of our lawmakers. Do you think that there's a conflict of interest when it comes to lawmakers putting their faces and their names on projects that are being funded by taxpayer money? I'm asking this because
the chief of staff to the president, the medical facility that was named after him.
It's a new, isn't it? It's a new one.
When I look at some things that happen in our country, I don't know whether to cry or to laugh. Because we have public officers who keep making a mess of everything. That you have a publicly funded project with public funds while you remain a public officer being commissioned. And because you spearheaded that project, it has to be named after you. What does... To achieve what?
You're talking about the hospital where nearly $250 million was paid for by the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital in Enugu to Bajabe Amela Hospital, I believe, in Lagos.
Go to the medical college, right? Go to that university teaching hospital.
Yes.
Right? Go and check their lab. Go and check their pharmacy. Right? Go and check their departments. Do they have the needed facilities? What does that even tell you? What is the business? Why should that kind of project be cited in Lagos by an institution in Enugu? What are they telling us? I don't understand. These are absurdities that we have normalized as a country. What is the business of Enugu University Teaching Hospital with a project in Lagos State? How was this even possible? And why is the name of the chief of staff on the project? To achieve what? Does it belong to him? And the man is not scandalized. He's smiling about it. And the country has to clap for him that you have done so well. And look at the amounts.
A governor or a president that executes a project during his tenure will find it difficult to name any project after himself. It will have to be once you've left that somebody can now consider you worthy of saying, but this looks to me like a first, that you use public funds and then and then you name it after Chief.
I don't think it's the
you know
first
why
time the
this is
chief of staff
possible?
is doing it.
You know why this is
Sorry?
possible?
Sorry, I was saying I don't think it's the first time the chief of staff is doing it, because we do have the Femi Gbajabiamila Residence Hall, we have the Femi Gbajabiamila Conference Center, we have, I think there's now a football field. Yes,
It's part of
sports
all
field.
the projects that that were commissioned at the same time.
Yes.
I mean, commendable if you look at the fact that we don't all those other people who earn constituency allowance project that we do not even know what they do with it, but then haven't done what you have used money for. Even we do not have an idea of how much we're talking about, but we can see project. But then to name it after yourself while you're still in office.
The problem is that we have a culture of what I call canonization of criminality. Do you know how many institutions in Nigeria are named after the late Sani Abacha? With all the money stole from the country that have been recovered. Institutions that are still named after Abacha. Nobody sees anything wrong in it. All the former heads of states who ruined this country, we still have public institutions named after them. That is how low we have sunk. And the whole national, and the other aspect is the national award thing. Once you become a governor, you have to be a CON. We need to revisit our laws too.
Yeah.
It should not be automatic.
Yeah.
Right? Once you are a minister, a certain street has to be named after you. So what that tells you is that as a country, we don't really have a moral foundation. Because if you have someone that really wants to change Nigeria, from the day you are sworn in, one of the things you have to do, but in fact, start from the FCT. Start from the FCT. Rename all the streets, all the roads that are have been named after people that are not deserving. That is why the chief of staff to the president can do this. Because this is nothing wrong in it. You are still the chief of staff. Do you know who the chief of staff to the president is? That you have a project, named after him, a project that he was involved in. So he is saying that I influenced the bringing of this project. Yes. Therefore, you have to honor me for it. That is what he's saying.
Let me circle back, because of time, we're running out of time. Let me circle back to the issue of the conflict of interest. And I think a similar thing happened during, at the earlier part of the Buhari administration when Babachi Lawal, the contract and everything, it consumed him, ultimately.
The grass
cutter.
Yeah.
What do you think will be going on in the mind of the president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, now, in terms of what to do, and not just with Beta Edu, which, like you said, it would be surprising to have her back, but for Tunji-Ojo, will the president be thinking this is a shining star? I've used, it's like a PR machine for my administration, or will he go back and drill down, as other people have said, to the expanded Tunji-Ojo, who, as you know, had issues of the NYC thing that it turned out like that the same time that he was serving as member of the House of Reps was the same time that he claimed that he finished his youth service against extant laws of the country. Or the Tunji-Ojo that was the chair of the committee for the NDDC and the off your mic circle. Yeah. Do you think that those things will be playing in the president's mind and say, should I play to the gallery and say this is a shining star, let's retain him? Or but then to say that, hey, doesn't look like he's as squeaky clean as has been presented to the people.
I think the mistake with your question, sir, with due respect, is that the problem, the premise of your question is that Tinubu doesn't want to work with corrupt people, and I don't agree with you. Because I'm not speaking particularly about it, but let us not live here with the mindset that this president does not want corrupt people around him. I would not agree with that. Because how did he get there? Who were the people who funded the election? Who were the people who supported him? And look at the number of ministers that we have. Is it not scandalous? If Tinubu is serious about changing the country, let him start by reducing the number of ministers. You have a minister today who is collecting Alawi, right? Musawe. And you have a saving corps member.
And that's Musawa.
Tinubu has shown Nigerians that he does not care about fighting corruption. You have a saving corps member in violation of the decision of the Supreme Court that while you are a member of the National Youth Corps, you cannot hold a public office. No. You have a minister that is still wearing khaki to go for CDS and still sit in the Federal Executive Council. Is that? Are we a serious country? Are we a serious country?
Yeah, but they say that she might not be collecting Alawi.
It doesn't matter. She's not the only one who is not collecting. We know the rot in the NYSC. We have ghost corps members, people who have never been to their PPA, the place of primary assignment. right? They just sit somewhere, somebody, we know these things, it doesn't matter. But I'm saying that when you look at the bigger picture, this is only a problem because it has been exposed. I don't think this is a problem for the president because it actually happened. I think this is just a face-saving thing, but I don't see him firing, the minister. I don't see that happening.
You think he will survive it?
I think he will survive it.
What would
But at a minimum, what I expect the president to do, because you must also concede to him, he has done commendable things trying to reform how we get passports. I mean, I like some of the things he has said.
Yes.
He sounds like someone that has a lot of things upstairs to offer the country.
Yeah.
So I think the president will be in a dilemma. But I'm saying at a minimum, revoke the contract that was given to that company. Let the money return to public purse. And now come up with a policy that if you're a minister under my government, any company that you have interest, whether as a former director or as a shareholder, will not benefit from award, will not benefit from contracts.
Yeah.
Can the president have does this president have the courage to do that? Because if he says that,
he will be stating the obvious because that's what the law says.
Yes, but I'm saying, does he have the intention of doing that? Right? Does he have the courage to do that?
Yeah.
Does this president really want to fight corruption? Right? Because you have people who have been accused of corruption that he has appointed as a minister, from the legislative arm to the executive arm to even the political party, the APC. People that should be standing trial, people with ongoing active corruption cases with the EFCC. Do you really believe TINUBU wants to fight corruption? I think the coming months will tell.
Yeah.
The coming months will tell.
Yes, we've run out of time. I just quickly want to ask you what you think when we look at the systemic corruption within the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry, now with Better Ado, and of course with Sadia Umar Farouk. Should that ministry be scrapped?
What is the purpose of the ministry? What is the? I mean, send out to the IDP. How many people have they taken out of the IDP? They said they want to alleviate poverty, but the country is getting poorer. A humanitarian affairs ministry or a poverty alleviation ministry that has only imposed more poverty on the country should be scrapped. So not only should the president not return her, I am saying this morning that I do not see why we need that ministry. We have the National Disaster Management Agency also.
Correct.
So why do we need a Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs?
All right, then.
What is the humanitarian services that they are rendering to the country? I haven't seen it. Scrap the ministry.
Mr. F. Young, thank you so much. I knew when you were coming with the fire. Thank you. We really enjoyed today's interview.
We probably play that. Yes. I like his analysis, man. His analysis was just point blank. No going back. Just point blank. I love the analysis. Well, guys, that's Nigeria for you, man. There are things we need to do. Okay, we need to do. I hope someone somewhere is watching that can make some changes, man. We want a better Nigeria. That's what we are saying. We want a better Nigeria. Okay, but all the same, we cannot give up. I've always said Nigeria is a blessed country. We need to make it work. Who will make it work? It's you and I. Okay. Other people who are making it work. It's you and I that will make it work. Okay. Anyway, guys, Nigeria, man, it's so interesting. So many things are happening that you say to yourself, how did we get here? How did we get here? That's a question at times I would sit down and say, okay, how did we get here? It's painful and it's a pity that it's how it is. It's how it is. It's how it is. Anyway, let's hope for the best. Let's pray for the best. Let's go to pray for our country, okay? Let's pray for our country. All right. I know that Better Ado, maybe she made a mistake. She was a youth that was, I would say promising with youthful energy. But along the line, maybe, I don't know, let's wait the outcome of the FCC and other stuff. But I know that people definitely they want to push her out also. Okay. That one, I so believe, people want to push her out. What if 44 billion? That place is rotten. I can imagine I can take 44 billion under 5 days, 44 billion under 5 days, pay to his personal account and people's account, say it was a mistake. So what is why before then? I wonder how much have been going to her account by mistake. So we have things to do. They need to really, EFCC need to dig deep or dig deeper. If it, dig deeper, deeper, so that to fish out many things. Not only that not only that ministry. We have all. It's like all of them, man. They need to really find a way out. They need to do something about it. Because it's a shame and a pity that Nigerians are suffering, and few people are just feeding on people who are 200 million people. Just few are feeding on them. So which is bad, really bad, man. Really bad. But when the head is good, the body will be good. When the head is not good, what do you expect me? What do you expect? Had it been the head was good, all these things will not be happening. At least they'll be scared to do something. They will just be scared to do something. But when the head is not good, what do you expect? What do you expect? Nigerians, they voted, but and his people said it's a lie. Why should you people enjoy dividends of democracy? Why should people enjoy? Nigeria is not right for that. Yeah. It's a pity. It's just a pity. It's just a pity. And it's painful. It's a pity. It's painful. It's painful. Anyway, that is part of it too. That's part of it, man. I will go to the last video of the day for the day. That one is so touching. And this is happening everywhere. It has happened. Not only this is about military. Before I play that, let's respect the military for what they are doing. Okay, let's respect the military for what they are doing. They are doing great with different things that is happening. They are doing great. Yes, before I play that video, let me play this video. Let's respect them for what they are doing. We may not know what they are doing. Some of them are suffering. Okay, some of them are suffering. Let's see this one. Let's see what's happening. They are military.
Let's go!
Terrorists, fighting terrorists.
Let's go now! They are running. Let's go!
So let's keep them in prayer. Let's pray for them. Let's pray for them. But this Nigeria we found ourselves. The last administration was so porous. It allowed people to come from different places. Terrorists to come from different places.
They are coming back. Let's go.
I heard those terrorists that exploded not before express in Nigeria. Not only in the north, so only in the west. All the terrorists that I exploded to go to Nigeria, man.
We're ahead of you! Mario!
That is too.
Mario!
Risky with the national security is risky. And then we need to pray for these government soldiers. I hear some of them don't have the maybe the allowance is small, the allowance are small. Those things I heard, some of them we don't have the terrorists, man. We need to put our nation secure. Okay, so
let's go, man! Let's go!
Mr. Dan.
You are wicked. Come
This is
forward.
also.
Come forward. You are firing at us. Hey, who put them on? Who put the tenant? Go trick of one. Move forward now. Link up with me. Hey. Move forward. Move forward.
Who they fire this RP?
Those who are at the high ground, please stop firing. Those who are at the high ground, stop firing. Those who are at the high ground, stop firing.
They can just do this.
Come on.
See the bullet, you guys. Even that place, they are running through the axis. That axis too. That place, this is our left. They are running. I have started them. Wallahi, they are plenty.
See, that's some people follow that there.
Why this kudos to them? What they are doing? It's good to pray for them. Now, there's one thing I want to. As the video has been trending, that a military officer, a military officer, accusing his senior
Somebody, you know that we are ahead of you. You don't want to come and meet us?
from the army because of that also because of
Wait.
just imagine that so many people like that.
You don't people for high ground. Come advance now. Don't fire us now.
I know it's not about the police force.
I know somebody on the high ground. You can advance. Don't get there.
The environment. These things are happening. This is harassment. This is all this is making difference. That is just the thing. All this is making difference. That is why I'm going to play this video. Let's listen to her because people make on my TikTok, people are making so much comments, man, and it's painful to see people suffering like this. It's not right for anybody to suffer like this. It's not good. At other times, it's not good. I'm against such nonsense. Seriously, I'm against it. I know it's not good. Nobody will pray for his relation to be involved in such a thing. Or your daughter to invest in such a thing, threatening you because they are your superior. And you want to do something against your wish. Come on, man. This is not right. It's not fair. I hope the military will, as they said, they will look into it. Because it's not just right. It's not fair. Okay. Let's play part of the video. Then I'll come back. Let's play the video. Just to see
But most of our senior officers, they are very, very, even worse than Governor Sowolu. Let me not lie to you. So let me tell you one story. Before I will tell you this story, I know definitely they will come for me. They will lock me up and they will dismiss me. I don't care. I can't even endure again.
This is painful, man.
Before coming out to make this video, I can't endure again.
You can imagine.
I can't.
It's too bad.
So I don't want to die young. Definitely, I know they will come for me. But before anybody will dismiss me in this army, anyone that call for the order, anybody that call me for any order, anybody that want to do my child, anybody that want to do my order to dismiss me, the person that do the order will not see peace. He or she will not see peace. And if anything should happen to me, please hold Colonel IB Abdulkarim responsible, Colonel GS Ogo, and bigger than that, IB Abdulkarim, IB Shelibo. Hold these 3 people responsible. They are they don't want me to grow. They don't want my progress. This is what happened. 2022. I was posted to Cantonment Medical Center Ojo, where I met Colonel IB Abdulkarim, who request sex for me and I refused. Ever since then, this man has been my nightmare in the army. He dismiss me each time he see me. He injects me. He comes to my room to inject me. My own apartment, come to my room here to inject me. Send some boys to my house. If I'm lying, I have all evidence. I have evidence against him. And I have witnesses. Come to my house to inject me. He also stigmatized me that I have mental illness each time I try to expose him, or each time any senior person, any senior officer trying to intervene, he will tell them that I have mental illness. He even wrote to DOA to board me out. He wrote to DOA 3 good times to board me out of army. He freezed my account for 1 year. He freezed my account February last 18 date, no salary. I cried to some senior officers. I wrote a petition using section 179 of the Armed Forces Act.
This is not fair, man.
I've seen so many officers, senior officers, junior officers to intervene, but none of them is giving me listen here. But and anyone who's trying to intervene, he will tell them I have mental illness. There's a day he locked me, he injected me. He almost, when they caught him and he said I have mental illness, he took me to psychiatry hospital and he went to lock me up there. He locked me up there for 1 good month without any medication. Deny me access to military courses. And meanwhile, they know very well that my progression in the army determine my course attendance. No course. Now they've given me admission in medical school. They refuse to release me. There was a time I called my dad. My dad interviewed. He was telling my dad to tell me to obey the last order. What was the last order? For him to sleep with me. Deny me everything. I can't even go on pass to see my parents. No pass, no leave for me. No leave. But please, and please, if anything to happen to me, please hold them responsible. Hold Colonel IB Abdulkarim responsible, especially Colonel IB Abdulkarim, Colonel GS Ogo, bigger than the IB Shelebo. Hold them responsible. They are my nightmare in the army. They've done everything to tarnish my image because they are all cosmates. I don't know why army will promote such and heartless people. I don't know what I've done to them. I don't know. I don't know what I did. Till date, I haven't collected salary. I can't even endure this again. I can't endure it. Let the worst happen. Let the worst happen. I don't bloody care. You're going up and tarnishing my image. I can't go on pass. I can't go on leave. I can't do anything in the army. Telling the army to board me out of army. Nobody set a board. Before they will board any soldier out, there will be a BOI. No BOI. They just sent to Amekota to board me out. Sent to Amekota to freeze my account. With no just reason. I've seen most soldiers with 1 leg.
with no leg at all, with no eyes, but they are still in the service. But they decide to board me out because they don't want me to expose them. Please, Sam, please, if anything should happen to me, please hold on I be Abdulkarim responsible. Hold him responsible. Is my problem in the army. But I don't care if anybody want to dismiss me, let them do their worst. So my dad kept on, trying to intervene and, but people telling my dad to tell me to obey the last order. Okay, as if that was not enough. Each time you feel like you want to embarrass me, you will ask some soldiers to beat me up. Want them to beat me up. You will inject me. To ask a master one officer, Funke Ayeni, she's a female soldier. She will ask her to set me up. She will set me up. You inject me and they go and throw me inside somewhere. At the end of the day, this Brigadier General IB Shelebo and some of those senior colonel, they will come to, they are now promoted to Brigadier General. They will come to that place and they will be videoing me. They will be videoing me. So countless times like that. So early this year, early last year, I wrote a redress. I went to military police. I went to legal service. They were using power. I could not do anything. It was all my effort. They were always wasted because they are more they have influence, they have power, and they are subordinate. So nobody want to listen to me. Anything they tell the senior people, that's what they will believe. So I went there, I wrote, and at the end of the day, when they set a BOI after the board of inquiry, at the end of the day, the medical corps were biased because they are the most senior officer in medical corps. They were biased. So I don't know why Nigeria will promote, or why army will promote such bad people, so bad leaders. I don't know why army will promote them. So they deny me so many things. I'm not the only person, no, but me, I can't endure again because I'm not even progressive. As if I'm not even in the job. Colonel Ogo, each time any senior officer trying to intervene, he will send the border letter to them. Meanwhile, Army Headquarters have refused to approve the border letter because they said the border letter, I don't even know how they compose it. Nobody called me for any BOI. Nobody called me for any interview. Now only Jesus Christ now, I never see one-on-one. I've been praying to him for endurance, but I think I've endured enough for one good day without salary, no course, no pass, no leave, nothing, just the work. Kawaii. I've endured. I can't endure again. Let the worst happen. The worst is to dismiss me. And even person that dismiss they better pass me like this because I don't feel endure again. I'll be keep it quiet because of my dad, because of my family, my parents, but I can't endure again. Obviously this work not be for me. So each time anybody trying to intervene, they will tell the person I have mental illness. They'll continue to give me that injection. How do you want me to be happy when you are not paying me my salary? How do you want me to be happy when my mates are going on? Because even my junior that meets me in the army going on, because I'm no progression, I'm not even growing. What do? I don't have anything to do again. I've done the normal procedure. I followed the normal procedure, the normal book army. Everything they asked me to do, I've done it, but nothing good is coming out. Now only God I know. I never see. I'm talking to God. I mean to say. Now only God I never see. I've spoken to some senior people who pretend as if they are hearing me. Meanwhile, they don't even care about anybody. They don't care about me.
Sad story, man. Sad story, man. It's painful. Yes, to do like this is so painful. Very painful. But that's how it is, man. People, they think they are superior. They want to oppress you. And nobody's doing anything. She said she has reported. She has talked and talked and talked. So right now, she's fed up. This is not like she's living. And she said she's not the only person. It's happening. And they cannot, even if they are talking, nobody's listening to them. Thank you for coming out. Other people should come out also. Nobody, the person they die only once, and nobody is dying safe. So thank you for coming out. Okay. I mean, now people have heard. I know on my TikTok people are talking about it. My Facebook people are talking about it also. And now people, the military, they've responded already to it, but we will not stop until the end of it. So people will hear it. This is the advantage of social network. People that are be treated like this, they should come out. We will amplify it so that people will hear. We amplify it so people will hear it. I mean, they need help. This is not fair. This is a human being to man. This is somebody's wife to be. If she's not married, this is somebody's daughter, man. This is unfair. It's not right. So we should all be speaking out. Those ones that are still uh, are not speaking publicly. Speak. Speak. Nobody they die. Nobody's killing you. Nobody kill you. They will come out. That will rectify the system. The system is corrupt and it's not good. If you don't speak and die silently, you're the one who will lose. Now, the body of her now will be big right now. Now she has spoken her mind. That speaking alone has solved 50% of the problem. And now people have had it down. They cannot punish her again. They will not try it. So they will not try it. Those people, officers, guys, military, those in charge, they should look into it very well. Find the root cause of it all and sort it out. Let's protect this girl. Let's protect her. She's come out to speak. So let's respect her. Let's protect her. She's a whistleblower. Yeah, she's a whistleblower, man. Whistleblower need to be protected. We should protect her to make sure nothing happens to her. And thank you for speaking. Let us know in 3 months' time, 6 months' time, 1 year time. Come out the gap and see what is happening. Say it. Let them sack you until they happen. Say it. Say this is the situation right now. Things are better or getting worse. They listen to it. They listen to it. Say it. Come out in 3 months' time again. 6 months' time again. Come out. We have social influencers everywhere. I should speak. Millions of people, they've heard you. Nigeria, they have heard you. That's what they've heard you, which is good. We keep on speaking. Those who are not speaking, keep on speaking. This is not fair. This is not right. It's not just fair at all. We should be our brother's keeper. That's the essence of what we are doing, man. I talk of Nigeria, Nigeria. Let me Nigeria better. These are stuff we need to be talking about. For me, that's stuff we need to be talking about to help out people. Okay. Guys, I'm going to stop here for today. Thank you guys for watching. All right. Kindly like, kindly share. Okay. Let's make Nigeria work again. All right. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. Good night.